So presumably next week, or maybe next 2 weeks by the time this video is made, we'll be getting a new version livestream update, and this time, the new character is Skirk, the student of Suitology and Child's Master. The first time we saw her was during Fontaine's Archon Quest, and it seems she'll be reappearing as a new character for the new Archon Quest. Remember, Natlan's Archon Quest is not really over yet because the Gnosis is not yet taken, and Dainsleif might make his appearance in Natlan because, well, the Shattered Sky, and of course, the mandatory once every few patches Dainsleif quest. But that's a topic we can talk about after the livestream, and today, we need to talk about everything we know about Skirk. Since everything we know about her is very surface level, this video will be mixed with theories to make it easier for me to tell everything about her. As always, don't forget to give this video a like and comment so the channel can be noticed by the algorithm. My name is Glitchxcity and I make lore and commentary videos on this channel to keep you company. By the way, I drew the thumbnail myself, so I'm not saying to, follow my Twitter or something, but please do that. Yeah? No, I'm not asking, okay? I'm demanding, okay? Please. I'm desperate. I work hard on it. The first time we heard about Skirk is from the Mr. Worldwide himself, Ed Sheeran, Tartaglia, or Child, or Ajax. For this video, we'll call him Tartaglia. During childhood, Tartaglia fell into some hole and he fell into the abyss. This is where the young Tartaglia met Skirk for the first time, and apparently, Tartaglia awakened it, which we soon learned to be the all-devouring narwhal in Fontaine's Archon Quest. Eventually, Skirk taught Tartaglia how to use the Fall Legacy, which will become useful in the future. And it seems the battle in Fontaine is the future that was referenced. It's possible that Featherfall was involved because according to Skirk's street marketing, he and Suitology were having a conversation together, as in implying that they're still working with each other. But there's another possibility that they're not, but we'll talk about that in a bit. After some time, Tartaglia was sent back to the surface, but he never met Skirk again ever since. Since that day, he's been trying to find Skirk, which we learn in his voice line when mentioning his master. After the battle with the narwhal, he mentions trying to find her and even asks the House of the Heart for help, yet their attempt is unsuccessful. Skirk is not that talkative to Tartaglia because she has nothing to say to the weak. Adding to salt to the injury, Skirk's title in her drip marketing is Sinner's Disciple, Fool's Master. Which likely referred to Suitology and Tartaglia respectively. Now of course, it's likely the fool here is just referring to Tartaglia's affiliation as the child of the Fatui, because in Russian, the Fatui is translated to the fool. Now this is just a hunch, from me at least, but it's possible that the it that Skirk mentioned to Tartaglia is not the whale, but something else. It's also possible that the Foul Legacy was taught on him for something bigger, especially the whale is just a pet according to Skirk. I still find it so ridiculous how this stupid whale is a pet when it almost destroyed Fontaine and could definitely spread to the entirety of TEYVAT. Anyways, where was Skirk when Tartaglia was trying to find her? There's few possibilities, and the most possible one is that she is just venturing into the abyss. The other possibility, but also kinda unlikely, is her following Suitology's orders to find the Voyager that was mentioned in Finale of the Deep Galleries. At the beginning of every piece, it always started with a girl and his master, but judging from the way this description says, it's possible all this happened before she met Tartaglia. It's also said girl, which could mean this is when she was still very young. This could imply that Skirk is already hundreds of years old, and the final task that was given to Skirk is finding the Voyager in the Spiral Abyss, as per the Sand's description. We can talk about the Voyager in another video, which maybe will be revealed more when Skirk's release is up. Since she is a 5-star, it's more than likely that her story quest will be very important and touch upon the story of Hyperborea. Let's move on. So Skirk is not using a vision, which we already know at this point, but instead, she is using a 7-shifting serpent. I find this to be interesting because her drip marketing looks very similar to Dainsleif. The difference is that Skirk's background drip marketing is shattered. If you keep up with the lore, serpent and dragons in TEYVAT are considered as one family, according to once again, the Byakuyaku collection. I swear to god, everything has to come back to this stupid collection. It's possible instead of using powers granted from Vision, Skirk, the other 5 sinners of Kynria, and possibly Dainsleif are using the same power as well, directly taken from the dragons. But there's another possibility. After defeating the Aldebaran Narwhal, Skirk commended the Traveler, Paimon, and Yuvalet for defeating the whale without using the power from beyond. So it's possible that this power is something that came from beyond TEYVAT and probably the same power that Mavrika mentioned after the Archon quest, which could be related to the moon. Another possibility is it's the power that came from the Abyss. I'm gonna give you my 2 cents here that it's likely to be the latter. The 7 shifting serpent also reminds me of the snake in the Battle Pass animation where the princess becomes corrupted after receiving that pearl, so it's possible that the Abyss also has a heavy connection with the serpent-like god. Imagine if Nibelung is now the god of the Abyss, but of course it's very unlikely, but hey, anything is possible at this point, right? Since Dainsleif is shown to emit blue fire, then we can assume his playable element will be Pyro if he is using this power. Now of course, we need to talk about Skirk's drip marketing. This section is a lot more speculative, so bear with me. So in her drip marketing, we see a conversation between Federfolnir and Surtology. Now this conversation is quite odd, at least to me, because it seems this conversation happened before Surtology took Skirk as his disciple. If you read their conversation, it seems Federfolnir was reading Surtology's future, and he was so confused when Federfolnir mentioned disciple. Not only that, Surtology was quite saddened when he knew he would have a student, which could mean walking in their path is nothing but suffering. It seems Skirk is caught up to this unfortunate fate, but as to where she originates, it's possible that she is a native Khaenri'an. Despite the usual cryptic storytelling, the story in Skirk's introduction is a lot more understandable. Basically, Surtology saved Skirk during the Cataclysm in Khaenri'ah, and Skirk did the same to Tartaglia when he fell into the Abyss. The Abyss is fast and sinister, and you may be affected by the Abyss if you don't like and subscribe to this channel. 70% of people watching my videos are not subscribed, so if you like my content, then subscribing to this channel will help this channel a lot from being lost in the nothingness of the Abyss. No, I mean literally, this channel will be lost in the sea of abandoned by the algorithm if you don't do that. With that said, let's continue. Now let's say if she is not a Khaenri'an, where could she be from? Let's say she is someone from the 7 nations and fell into Khaenri'ah for some reason. How does she have a long lifespan? Well, it could be possible she got hit by a curse the moment she entered Khaenri'ah. If you remember from Parent Harry's ending, those who enter Khaenri'ah cannot return to TEYVAT as they are cursed to become monsters if they try to return. If that's the case, then it's possible that the sinner's intervention prevented Skirk to turn into a monster. It's quite kind of poetic if you think about it, because Surtology's title is the Foul, and foul is synonymous to the word rotten, a word that can describe what the Khaenri'ans are currently suffering from. While the curse of immortality prevents those who suffer it from dying, their body and mind will continue to rot. Skirk also said another reason she doesn't talk to the Whig was not really because it meant in a derogatory way, but more so because she wants to avoid miscommunication. Speaking of that, she considers herself as greater than humanity. And the other reason she only talks to those she deems equal is because her common sense is different from that of an ordinary person. This could mean she is not even someone from TEYVAT, but someone from outside of TEYVAT. It's pretty much the reason why she is comfortable talking with the Traveler and Yuvalet, because they are just as strong as her, and possibly due to the Traveler not from TEYVAT, while Yuvalet holds the authority of Hydro. They also defeat the Narwhal, who is not from TEYVAT either. With that in mind, it's possible that Skirk's origin is the same as the Narwhal's origin. If you listen to her drip marketing music, it's the same music when the Aldebaran Narwhal was introduced to us for the first time at the end of Fontaine's Act 4. The Narwhal is said to be not from this world, and it's likely the whale is from presumably the Abyss. If that's the case, then Skirk could also be someone from the Abyss, especially her drip marketing looks like nothing we have ever seen before prior to her appearance. Her drip marketing description is also interesting because it seems the beginning of her drip is describing what Khaenri'ah looks like. The stars hang above in their night-veiled skies, the Abyss lies beneath the chthonic heights. None can know what lies beyond the bespangled heights, just as none can perceive that which dwells in lightless depths. Chthonic means something related to darkness and sinister, which could mean Khaenri'ah is indeed close to the Abyss. This could mean that the Irminsul is planted somewhere in Kyndria, especially the skies near the Irminsul tree looks quite similar to what you see during the Cataclysm. Now speaking of Kyndria and the Abyss, let's move on to the final point. Augur is synonymous to prophet, but more to ancient prophet, which could be referring to none other than Featherfall venturing out in the universe and not into the abyss are the same, in that both are braving the dark unknown. In Perrin Harry, we learned that the people from Crimson Moon Dynasty created an orphanage for the children they found from outside of TEYVAT and from the sea of stars in Kyndrian skies. With that in mind, the third possibility of Skirk's origin could either she is from the abyss or she is literally from another world that we yet to know of. Now I don't want to connect this with Honkai lore, but since Genshin Impact is confirmed to be part of the imaginary tree by the developers, then we can assume that she is somewhere from the vast universe of the tree itself. Even the Voyager's lore is somehow closely reminiscent of how the Honkais work to eliminate worlds, but again, I don't know much about Honkai Impact lore, so pardon me on that. I only know Honkai Star Rail lore, but that's about it. Anyway, back to Skirk, whether it's somewhere that we knew or not, it's possible a world that we never heard of before, we have no idea yet. Everything about Skirk is still very surface level, and we only knew about her from little voice lines, and our meeting with her is very brief. But like the final line of her trip marketing, it says, "Yet the road ahead is uncertain, the sights beyond unknown." Well, all we can do now is wait and see how everything unfolds. Depending on how the livestream reveals, I will make a follow-up theory and speculation on Skirk along with the livestream analysis like I did with my paralogism theory. Oh wow, this video is actually a lot more shorter than I thought. With that said, what's your opinion on Skirk? Let me know in the comments. 加拿